everyone, Tina here. Welcome to Card Making Fundamentals and welcome to the Merry Wishes classroom. Today we are going to create with our final lesson. It's right there, I already took it out of my empty package here. I hope you're enjoying the classroom so far. For this final lesson, you are going to need some basic supplies, the same supplies that we've been using. You're going to need a black ink, preferably a pigment ink, because we're going to be stamping on vellum. And vellum, a dye-based ink kind of sits on the surface, where a pigment ink is kind of sticky, so it'll stay a little bit longer. You're also going to need your coral and your green ink. You're going to need a craft pick. You're also going to need your glue and some scissors, of course. You're going to need an acrylic block. We're going to stamp some presents and a wreath today, and I think we're good to go. Okay, let's go ahead and start by taking everything out of our package, and we are going to do a little bit of stamping. Put that off to the side here. First, in our embellishment bag, there is a piece of vellum. Take that out too. We're going to need that. And then there's a piece of white cardstock. You're going to need this to do your stamping with. So, we'll start with our vellum. In our stamp set, we have the number 25. We're going to take this, and we are going to butt them up together on... I don't know why it comes off on the opposite end. Maybe I cleaned it too well. We'll take our 25 and we are going to put them next to each other. If you have an acrylic block that has grid lines, that will be helpful. And you might need to play around because I put it on there and it says 52. And I don't think that would make any sense unless it's the birthday. So I'm going to flip spots here. I'm going to get them as close as I can together and as straight as I can. If you, I mentioned, have grid lines, the grid lines will help keep them straight. I think that looks good. Okay, we're going to take our black ink and stamp directly in the middle of our vellum panel here. So we'll ink this up, stamp right in the middle. If you're off center, that's okay. Don't touch it because it will smear. There's our 25. Now I'm going to go ahead and set this off to the side to dry. This can take probably all the time we have in our video. So set that off to the side to dry. We will put away our black ink. We don't need that no more. And we'll clean off our stamp. Cleans off really well. For being I think these are acrylic, but cleaning off really well for acrylic stamps. Okay, we have our presents in our stamp set. Make sure your acrylic block is, if you sprayed it with your stamp cleaner, make sure it's really dry, otherwise your stamp won't stick. Okay, we need a few presents. So starting with our corally ink, or pinky corally, we'll ink this up. And I'm using more or less the upper two halves of our ombre ink pad. And we'll stamp 2 of these presents. Might have to stamp another one because I didn't press down too good. I messed up a little bit right there. It's not that noticeable, but it's noticeable for me, so I'll stamp one more. Look how cute that is. I love presents. And we'll do it one more. So we have 2 of the corally presents, and then I'll clean off my stamp. Put our pink ink away. That's the last we'll be using of that. We'll clean off our present, and then we need to stamp some green presents also. Okay, and again, if you use your stamp cleaner, make sure your block is really dry because otherwise it'll slip and slide. We're going to ink up our present with our green ink now and stamp this twice. Wonderful. And then I'm going to clean off my presents. And in our stamp set, we have a wreath. We're going to take that wreath that's at the very top corner, keeping our green ink out. We're going to stamp our wreath, but not on here. We're going to go ahead and take our circle. Let's just go ahead and take everything out of our embellishment bag. Well, be careful because there's little, there's gems in here too. But there's a small circle here. There's two different sizes of white circles. Take the smaller one. You can push everything off to the side here. And then we're going to ink up our wreath. You might want to go over it with your hand a little bit. And then ink this up with your green ink. And stamp your wreath in the center of the circle. Like so. Wonderful. And then that's all the stamp. Oh, before we go, don't put away your ink just yet. Clean off your stamp. And we're going to stamp, put this back. And I had already had, remember for lesson number 1, I created an extra one of these. You're going to need an extra one of these for our card projects. So if you only made 5 of these for card number 1 or lesson number 1, you're going to stamp another one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, even though I already have one done. Grab your holly leaves and ink this up. And stamp this as well. Okay. And then that's all the stamping we're going to do. We'll tidy up our stamp here. Put this back. And they don't want to stick. Okay. And then we'll put this back in our package, set that off to the side, put our acrylic block away. We're going to do a little fussy cutting. So we have 2 presents and we have some holly leaves. Now you're going to need to go around the berries on your holly leaves because we're going to add some of those gems, and so we need a home for them to sit on. So don't cut them off like we did in our last card. We're going to need to do the whole holly. Like so. And our presents are pretty easy. They're basically straight lines. Straight lines. Don't you love straight lines? We're going to go around that bow though on the very top. We're going to just go ahead and finish everything. Sun's going in and out. I don't know if you can tell on the camera. We have a little bit of a wind. It's a beautiful day. We stocked up on firewood. I'm afraid to see the gas bills, so we stocked up on firewood. We have a gas, we have a, what do you call those? Not an insert, the outside stoves, but it's not a, the outside fireplaces that are on kind of pedestals. I forget what they're called. When we lived in our other house, it was a full-blown fireplace, so this is a little different for us. But if it keeps you warm, it don't matter what it is, right? We have a little bit of firewood in the back. We need to get some more. We're anticipating a very cold winter. Okay, everything is all cut. And we're going to put our wreath off to the side because this is going to go on our tag. We'll work on that in a minute. This we're going to need. So let's grab our red gems. We're going to just need 3 of these. Put the rest off to the side. And of course we're going to put these in the center of our holly leaves. If you did this already, you can refill your coffee or just take a little break. Add 3, like in a triangle, just over those green berries, so you can't see them. And then those are good to go. Now we're going to take these and put these to the side. We have everything that was in our last lesson kit. These, let's see, these 2 are going to go on our tag. So I'm going to put that with our wreath. And we have this grid line paper. What we're going to do is take our green pattern paper, and this is going to be taped down, right down the center, all the way to the top. Okay, we'll flip it around. Break out your tape runner or your glue, whatever you prefer, and we're going to tack this down. Kind of centering it as best as you can. Grid lines are nice because you can get it straight always. Now, in our die cut pack, there is a scalloped edge piece. Take that out. And then there's like a photo frame piece. You can take that one out as well. We're going to use that on our next card. So take that one out too. And then you're going to need to take your sentiment in here that says joy. We'll take that out. And we'll put the rest off to the side. You have lots left over. We're going to take our scalloped edge. I find it best to use your tape runner over it. So I'm going to add adhesive all along the back. And I kept this long on purpose because you want to evenly space this on the very top. Just so it looks more even. Meaning, I'm going to show you. You don't want it to be kind of if you were to trim off the ends here, you can see it's kind of lopsided. You want to make sure that the scallops are kind of evenly spaced. And this is going to go all along the top. I think that's good. Then you're going to flip it around and trim away the excess that's on the left and the right. And this is kind of crooked. I need to lower it. Okay. Now after we have this done, we're going to take our ribbon and we're going to go underneath our panel. And we're going to tie a knot. This knot's going to go about 4 of the grid squares up. You're going to tie a knot off to the left. Knots are easy. You want your knot to start at the very end of your stripe paper. I think that looks good. Wonderful. And then we're going to angle off the left and the right. kind of evening it up. We're going to need some more of that twine, so set that aside. And then we're going to take this panel, even out. Maybe we'll go, the top of the ribbon will be on the 1, 2, 3, probably about an inch up, like so. Maybe a little lower. There we go. Okay, now we're going to flip this around. We have our foam circles. We're going to add these behind our panel. And then we'll remove the release paper. And then we're going to place our panel on our card base, right in the center. Kind of still flat. Now we're going to grab all of our embellishments here, pull them down. You won't need all of these gems. These gems are we're going to use for our tag. So you can put those back if they came out. I had lots of extra, so I just threw them in the bag for you guys. These are really pretty. We have our white circle. Go ahead and add adhesive behind our white circle and attach it to a vellum. Wonderful. And then with this, do we want to pop this up or not? Let's pop up the joy. So let's flip it around. We have some of these thin, we can trim down some thin strips of foam adhesive with those rectangles. You don't need but 2 strips, I would say. One for the J and then one for the Y. The Y you'll probably need it pretty thin. Wonderful. We're going to attach our joy to the center of our circle, like so. And then what we're going to do next is take one of our foam squares here. You can actually use both of them. With whatever's left from those foam square rectangles, put on the back of your circle, and then remove the release paper, and we'll put this on our panel on our card base. And we're going to add joy over here towards the right. A little bit of the vellum is going to overhang. We're going to take one pink present and one green present, add a little adhesive to the left side of your pink and kind of do a little crisscrossing with it. And we're going to add some more adhesive and tuck these under our knot. Okay, take that back. I didn't like the green on the green, so keep this. We'll use this for our next card. Do the opposite. So instead of putting the green first, add a little adhesive to the left of the green, tack it down to the pink present. Add some adhesive behind here, and then do some tucking. I think the green on the stripe is a little bit more visible. I think that looks better. What do you think? We have our little holly. I thought we would add this. Ideally, I want this on my knot. In our lesson kit, we had 2 small foam squares. I put each one behind the holly leaves. This is going to make it so I can tack this down right over our knot, like so. think that looks really cute. And then that card is done. Love the way that looks. We're going to put this off to the side. If you want to sparkle up the paper, you can by just adding a little spritz to it. You can. In fact, we can do that. Let's shake up our little spritzer. And I'm going to just do a little quick spray. Then we added a little sparkle. Just a little shimmer to that. And then put that up to the side. We're going to work on our next card, so we need a card base. Let's grab one of our window cards. Okay, for this one, we have this one. We're going to go ahead and doctor this up with some ribbon. So first we're going to take this and tie a knot off to the left, towards the bottom. We need a little bit of ribbon left, just a little bit for our tag. So one knot off to the left here. You can angle off your ribbon like so. Maybe make this a little smaller. Straighten it up a bit. So it's about 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom. We're going to flip it around. I'm going to take my tape runner and go all around my window here. And remember our vellum 25? We're going to take that, tack it down, place it to where the 25 is right in the middle, like so. And then we're going to flip it around once more carefully because it might still be wet. You don't want to touch it because it'll smear. Add a little more adhesive. And then we're going to tack this right over our window here. There is going to be a little bit of a border because the window is a little bit bigger. Let me show you. You can kind of see it with the shadow. A little bit of a border on the inside. And that's okay. I kind of like that. After we have, this is going to go on our tag. So is this. We have our presents. We already put adhesive behind it. We're going to tuck this under this knot. And then we're going to use our Stardust stickles and go over those polka dots. Add a little sparkle to these presents. If you wanted to go over the bow, you could too. Of course, the portion that's underneath the knot you don't want to add to. If you want to put this on your other card, you can, but I don't think it's necessary. So that will finish this card. Pretty kind of a clean looking card, but that will finish this one. And of course, if you wanted to put holly there, you could, but I like the symbol. You can even add some bells if you wanted to, but I'm going to go ahead and call this one done. And now we're going to work on our tag. So we have our tag. We're going to bring in all of our elements over here. We have our polka dot, and then we have our grid paper. Let's take our grid paper, add adhesive, place this on the very bottom. We're going to trim away the excess. Okay. With this one, we're going to add some adhesive behind it. We're going to put it about 3/4 of an inch up from the bottom of our grid paper here, like so. After we have this done, we have our silver sparkle paper. We're going to take our foam circles, just take a couple of them, flip them around. We'll add 2. I forgot these had the little pull tabs that aren't working very well. I thought these were neat. Carefully remove them. They didn't work as good as I thought they would be. Well, that stinks. I'm going to add my wreath to my silver. And then we're going to add some adhesive. And place this on our tag here. And then we have a little extra if you need them. We have our ribbon. What we're going to do is thread this ribbon through the whole of our tag, whatever you have left. You don't need very much going through because we're going to fold it up like this. Once we have it threaded through like this, we have a little bit of baker's twine left. We're going to use this. And then I'm going to go under the ribbon. Make sure the ribbon's laying flat. Then I'm going to tie a knot at the top of the tag here, like so. And then we're going to take one of our bells, our last bell. We'll thread a bell through the baker's twine. Then I'll tie a little knot, and then we'll tie a bow. I'm going to keep it a little bit big and with the string a little bit long because I like that look. And then I'll trim away some of my ribbon on the top. Kind of spread them open a little bit, like so. And then we get to add some bells and whistles to our wreath. Using your glue, you can add 5 dots around your wreath. 2, 3, 4, maybe 6. You can add as many as you want. And then this is where your wax pencil comes in handy. I didn't mention that you needed it, but this is where you would add your gems, which are all over my desk, so I won't grab them. And we're going to add some berries on that wreath. Need a couple more here. Oh, that's too many. And one more. I think that looks good. I'm going to funnel all of these back in here. I did put a little bit of stickles. My camera stopped shooting, but I did put some stickles around my wreath. A little bit in the white area too, because I think the ink from the wreath will pick up the color. But that is our tag here. This is our simple card, and then we have our other card. So this is lesson number 4. I hope you enjoyed the Merry Wishes classroom. I sure did. I know these cards are simple, but it's an extra card, and I thought why not? So these are all of our projects using the Merry Wishes classroom. I hope you enjoyed lesson number 4. I hope you enjoyed all the lessons, actually. I wish you a fabulous day, a fabulous rest of your weekend. Happy Friday. We will see you again real soon. Thanks so much for all your wonderful comments, you guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye.